This man, who can't find fault with the conditions of his detention, used to be one of the most fearsome Maras, as his tattoos demonstrate. Only gang leaders have them on their faces.
Good day, my name is Angelo and this is Channel Up, your most preferred YouTube channel. Have you ever wondered where criminals in your country go after they are convicted? Alright, follow me. In the heart of El Salvador, hidden away from the bustling streets and far from civilization, stands a fortress like no other, a place where the most feared criminals are locked away, stripped of their power, their freedom, and their identities. This place is called CECOT. CECOT means Centro de Confinamiento del Terrorismo, the world's largest and most brutal maximum prison, designed to house the most dangerous gang members El Salvador has ever known. But what really happens behind those towering concrete walls? How do prisoners survive in a place built to break them? Now let's step inside and uncover the dark reality of life in CECOT. You would love to hear this, but stay glued. Now let's take a quick look at the emergence and birth of CECOT and also why it was built. Alright, now for decades, El Salvador was one of the most dangerous countries in the world, plagued by violent gangs like the Mara Salvatrucha, also known as the MS-13, and the 18th Street Gang, also known as the Barrio 18. These criminal organizations ruled the streets, extorting businesses, terrorizing communities, and leaving thousands of people dead in their wake. But in the late 2022, President Nayib Bukele decided enough was enough. His government declared an all-out war on gangs, arresting tens of thousands in a historic crackdown. There was one problem. Where do you put over 40,000 of the most violent criminals in a country already struggling with overcrowded prisons? The answer was simple. Build a prison so massive, so secure, and so ruthless that escape would never be an option and survival would be seen as a kind of privilege. To that effect, CECOT was born finally in January 2023. Now let's take a brief look at the schematics of CECOT. I call it the architecture of fear. Let's see briefly how CECOT was built. Now CECOT is located in Tecoluca, San Vicente, alright, in El Salvador. CECOT was built in record time, a vast 165-hectare compound surrounded by 3-meter thick concrete walls topped with razor wire and electric fencing. Inside the prison is divided into 8 massive pavilions, each containing 32 cells. But these are not ordinary prison cells, don't forget. Each one is 100 square meters, designed to hold over 75 inmates, crammed together with no beds, no windows, and no space to breathe. Security is airtight. Hundreds of armed guards, watchtowers, and a sophisticated surveillance system to keep watch over every move. Every prisoner is monitored 24 hours 7 with facial recognition and biometric scans, ensuring no one moves without being seen. Alright, now life inside of CECOT has never been juicy, okay, or groovy. Let's get in to see what's in there and to know what life is like in there. Now, if you ask me, I would say that this is a prison designed to break men. From the moment an inmate enters CECOT or steps into CECOT for incarceration, obviously, their past life is erased. No gang power, no status, just a number in a sea of criminals. Stripped off their clothes, of course, they are issued a plain white pair of shirts, white bed sheets, and a pair of white socks. Right now, nothing more, nothing less. Tattoos that once symbolized fear and dominance in the outside world now mean nothing inside the walls of CECOT. Upon entering the prison, inmates are subject to a thorough security screening. Alright, those people that are wishing to enter to the prison to see people, including non-inmates, must submit to a scan by kind of advanced X-ray technology designed to prevent illicit objects like microchips, SD cards, phone chargers, and other incriminating materials or substances from entering the secure area. The guards also ask non-inmates if they have any tattoos on them, on their bodies, while they are searched from head to toe down to their shoes with their pairs of socks inclusive. For inmates being transferred to CECOT, this security and its scan system is immediately followed by a registration process to record their personal information and details on their criminal history. Additional security measures include constant video surveillance of the entire compound, a fully stocked armory with firearms and riot gear, and a 15,000 volt capacity fence surrounding the facility. The prison is further surrounded by gravel flooring to make footsteps very audible. 4 9.8 foot tall and 23.6 inch thick walls topped with barbed wire and up to 19 guard towers around. There are no family visits, no phone calls, no letters from loved ones or even well-wishers or friends. At this point, the outside world no longer exists to inmates. Inside CECOT, the daily routine is very tiring, soul-tearing, and indeed very, very brutal. Of course, there is a wake-up call by 4 a.m. every day, followed by forced military drills, endless hours of push-ups, squats, and running in place. During activities, silence is very mandatory. Any unnecessary talk is punished, and for those who refuse to obey, the consequences are grief and very severe. Of course, there are punishments for consequences, all right? Consequences of action, all right? In CECOT, there is no mercy for disobedience. CECOT does not tolerate defiance from any inmate. If an inmate steps out of line, punishment is swift and very brutal. Punishments that are abound in CECOT include isolation cells consisting of dark windowless rooms where prisoners are locked away for days, sometimes months, sometimes weeks. No light, no sound, just their thoughts and themselves. The next form of punishment is physical punishment. This refers to beatings, forced stress positions, and extreme drills. Also, there are collective punishments that abound to everybody. If one inmate disobeys, the entire cell suffers. Now, for these men, CECOT is not just a prison, it is a nightmare they can never wake from. So let's take a look at who are the inmates inside of CECOT, what they have done, and what caliber of people they are. They are gangsters, street lords, social rebels, and criminal masterminds. Inside these cells are the most dangerous criminals El Salvador has ever known. MS-13 and Barrio 18 warlords. These are men responsible for thousands of murders, drug trafficking, and brutal extortion rings. Their tattoos tell their stories, who they really are, and what they have done in the past. The MS-13 ink tattoo is made up of a full body tattoo, marking their loyalty and high rank in the gang, number of kills, and criminal activities achieved over time. Then, as for the members of the gang called the Barrio 18 and their symbols and tattoos. Now, these tattoos are made up of tattoos on faces, arms, backs covered in the number 18 sign, indicating a proud badge of pride and violence. All right, but in CECOT, these symbols mean nothing. Here, everyone is reduced to the same fate, endless suffering behind cold steel bars. The routine of the prison is very simple. No humanity, no relief. There is no rest in CECOT whatsoever. The prison provides only the barest minimum for survival. No mercy and no sympathy. Daily food consists of plain beans, rice, and tortillas served in strict portions, enough to keep them alive, nothing more. The prison hygiene is of the essence, as basic soap and water are available at designated times. No personal items, no comfort, no letters, no calls. There are also forced drills, not for health but for control and punishment to keep up with the daily grind. Thus, every day is a test of endurance, both physically and mentally, in these towering walls. This prison is heavily guarded by security personnel. I call them the untouchable force. Standing between the prisoners and chaos are the elite security forces, a highly trained unit designed to enforce discipline without mercy. Dressed in black military-style uniforms, armed with high-caliber rifles, and wearing bulletproof vests, masks to avoid being recognized by inmates for vengeance purposes. These security personnel are an unstoppable force inside of CECOT. Guards are trained in riot control and hand-to-hand combat, ensuring that no gang member dares to challenge them in any situation. They do not negotiate, they do not show sympathy. They are the law inside the walls of CECOT. The impact of CECOT is so severe, we may like to say it is a kind of prison that changed El Salvador for good. Since its creation, CECOT has changed the face of El Salvador. With over 12,000 gang members locked away, the streets are quieter now. Businesses are safer and homicides have dropped dramatically. But is this the price to pay for safety? Human rights organizations call it a violation of basic freedoms, a place where men are treated as animals. Others say it is the only way to end the decades-long grip of gang violence in the country. But one thing is certain, CECOT is not just a prison. It is a message to every criminal in El Salvador. There is no escape, no second chances, only absolute punishment, excruciating pain and grief. In conclusion, what do you think about this maximum prison called CECOT? Is CECOT a necessary evil or a step too far? Should justice be about rehabilitation, or do criminals like this deserve no mercy? Let me know what you think in the comments below. And if you found this deep dive into CECOT so interesting, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an upload from Channel Up. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.